The Red Hot Gens taking on the New Brunswick Matrix here at Fred Walters Field at Moody Park, a winner-take-all first-round ACBL playoff game. The Gens 19-18, 8-2 in their last 10. Meanwhile, the Matrix have struggled 3-7 in their last 10. Aaron Arnstein alongside Jason O'Connell. Happy to have you with us tonight on a beautiful evening here in Ewing, New Jersey. Again, the Trenton Generals looking to stay hot and continue their recent run of success in the first round of the playoffs, taking on the Matrix. And tell us about the starting pitcher tonight, the star for the Gens.
Jen's pitchers today is Ryan Dromboski, rising sophomore at UPenn, coming out of Columbus, New Jersey. It's been the stud on the year for the staff with 25.2 innings pitched and a 2.110 ERA. And as we mentioned throughout the season, one of the most lively guys in the bullpen, and he likes to bring that energy onto the mound. So when he gets going, he likes to thrive off momentum. So definitely can get these Gens off to a hot start and maybe even get their hitters some momentum to get the win today.
And Dromboski, top 3 on this team in ERA, 5th in strikeouts. And on the hill for the Matrix, a late surprise, Owen West on the mound, who has had some control issues this season, averaging about 1 walk per game. And he does have the potential to strike out many batters. Last time he faced this team, and these teams have played 4 times the last 2 weeks against each other in 2 doubleheaders. West shined in the strikeout department, but also gave up quite a few walks. So that is certainly, Jason, something to look for today in this winner-take-all game. And Joe Correa was slated to get the start, and was a last-minute switch, with West being now on the mound. And Correa will bat 8th and playing in left field. So an interesting decision there from the head coach of the Matrix. And should be interesting to see how that one pays off with Correa instead of on the mound at the plate.
Yeah, would call it a bit of a head scratcher, but as we were talking before the game, Correa hasn't pitched since the All Star game a little over 2 weeks ago, so maybe just not enough recent pitching experience to come in this game and a one elimination game playoff game to trust him with the ball. But definitely, what you would think their best pitcher on this lineup. You wonder why you don't see him here in this game tonight.
Yeah, and he was on a cruise for the past 2 weeks. Apparently, that is why he was not here. So an interesting decision to go on a cruise in the middle of an all-star type season. A 3.24 ERA in 9 games, 5 starts. He struck out 33 over 25 innings pitched. He's first in the team in innings pitched and strikeouts, and also ERA with a minimum of 4 appearances. So Correa will be batting 8th instead of on the mound, and this pregame show is brought to you by Team Toyota. Team Toyota of Langhorne and Princeton have kept us on the road for decades with impeccable sales and customer service. Call 609-745-6394 in Princeton or 215-791-8831 in Langhorne for more. ACBL Baseball brought to you by Team Toyota. Be a part of the team. And Jason, with these two teams facing each other 4 times overall the last 2 weeks, do you think that may hurt the Matrix? In this case, the Matrix, who have been struggling again 3-7 in their last 10 games, hurt them facing a team that's hot in the Gens and kind of knowing their tendencies, playing them a few times in the last 2 weeks, or help them?
I feel like it should definitely help them. Definitely see their batters more often, see what their tendency is in different counts, and get to know like what pitch to throw in strike counts, in a 2 strike count and a full count, because you know what they're looking for. And but the one place where this may hurt them is seeing Dromboski on the mound, as we mentioned. He has faced the Matrix, but not since June 26th, so not for over a month that have they seen this guy on the mound. So not seeing him for that long could affect their hitting and could be hard to pick up where his arm location is and how fast the ball is coming out of his hands. So definitely could be a factor here in that game, not seeing Ryan on the mound that much.
And we will take a quick break here from Moody Park, Fred Walters Field, and we get set for ACBL action to open the playoffs up between the Matrix and the Gens. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation. We'll be back in just a moment for the national anthem and the starting lineups. And we welcome you back here to the NJ College Baseball Nation YouTube page where the Gens taking on the Matrix in a winner-take-all to advance to the second round. Aaron Arnstein alongside Jason O'Connell as we get set to get underway, and the Matrix will start up at the plate, batting in the top half of the first as a visiting team, and the Gens will take the field in just a moment as the home team and will bat second. Jason, why don't you tell us the Matrix starting lineup?
So, first we got Brad Edwards leading off at shortstop for the Matrix. Gianni Morano in the second spot, playing second. Jay Bant, third base in the third spot. Luke Bakunis at first base in the 4-hole. Logan Rooney catching in the 5-hole. Jacob Vizcheco playing right field in the 6th spot. Sean Pietrowski, center field in the 7th spot. Joe Correa, as we mentioned, 8th spot in left field. And then rounding out in the 9th spot will be Shane Salicine at the DH.
And the fielding alignment for the Gens from left to right in the outfield, Wolf, Young, and White. And Wires DeClerico at shortstop, Hernandez at second, and McNelly at first. Behind the plate, Chris Reeder. And of course, on the mound, as we mentioned, the All-Star Ryan Dromboski for the Gens.
Yeah, Ryan was feeling good coming to the game. Talked to him a little before he started his warm-ups. He says feel really great today. He loves the energy of playoff baseball and expects to get a win here.
And this is a guy who has so much fun on the days he's not starting, but on the days he's starting, he is locked in and he is ready to go.
Yeah, like you said, he is one of the most energetic guys in the dugout / bullpen, and he seems to put all that fun energy into intensity when he's on the mound, when he's throwing.
And Brad Edwards Jr. will lead things off, the Montclair State product. Cloudy skies here, an ominous looking sky. And looking at the weather forecast, there's a chance of rain the next 2 hours, a 40% chance at 6 o'clock and at 7 o'clock, and 40% chance as well. So we'll see if the rain does hold up. We hope it does. But the game is official after 4.5 innings. And all games will be 9 innings, none of these 7-inning doubleheaders with the playoffs now commencing. I'll be playing a full 9 if the weather holds up. Brad Edwards will lead things off for New Brunswick. And we are underway. The first ball pitch grounded to short. DeClerico has it. Fields throws in time for out number 1.
Can't think of a better start. Great way to get the first out on one pitch. Easy ground out, too. Not any real hard contact. So great start from Dromboski.
Now Gianni Morano stands in at the plate. And Morano, an all-star, leads this team with 5 home runs, also has 21 RBIs. First pitch called a strike, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, definitely one of the best hitters on his team is Morano. And as you mentioned, he was an all-star. Actually hit a home run in that all-star game to help the Wolf division beat the Kaiser division.
Drombo quickly gets ahead 0-2. The right-hander's 0-2. High, and the count 1-2. And the 1-2. Just outside, the count now even at 2.
Yeah, close pitch there. Definitely Reeder did a pretty good job at framing it. Just wasn't close to the play enough.
Pitch is inside, the count now full. And also playing at 7 p.m. tonight, the Ospreys and the Metros. That is the 3-6 game. So if the Metros win, the Gens will travel to Quakertown tomorrow in the 1-4 game. The 3-2. Just inside, and the 1-out walk worked by the second baseman Morano. And then if the Ospreys pull off the upset against the Metros, the Ospreys will play South Jersey here tomorrow in a 12 p.m. doubleheader, and the Gens will play the Kings here at their home park, but they will be the visiting team, and the Ospreys will go up to Quakertown. Now the ball gets away from Reeder, but staying over at first is Morano. So if the Ospreys win, the Gens will stay here, but act as the visiting team against the number 2 seed Kings. Two of the arguably the hottest teams in the ACBL right now. The Kings have lost 2 games in their last 20, and the Gens 8-2 in their last 10. The 1-0 up high in the count, 2-0.
Yeah, definitely would love to see these two teams clash next round, but I think it would be even better matchup in the championship round. So that'd be a nice way to send one of our teams into the finals for against the Kaiser division.
And the 2-0 from the right-hander. Inner part of the plate, 2-1. Dromboski will be a rising sophomore, or is a rising sophomore at Penn. Saw limited time last year for the Quakers, and the pitch waved at and missed from Bant in the count, now 2-2. Jason Bant is a guy who can play all over the field. We saw him last time in the outfield, now playing shortstop in tonight's game.
Very versatile guy, as you mentioned. Despite his size, I think this guy that size normally plays first base, DH, but as I said, can play all over the field really.
Jay Bant, who attends Monmouth University, stands in 5'10", 215. He's having a great year, did not make the All-Star team, but ever since coming over to the Matrix in the trade with the Ospreys, he's been hitting like an all-star, hitting over 370 in 12 games. And Dromboski's 2-2. Just outside, 3-2.
And you think that with that trade coming over, his RBIs has also increased, 10 RBIs in 12 games. Maybe that's because Matrix able to put some more guys on bases for him in that 3 spot.
And the full count called, strike 3. Dromboski gets Bant to go down looking for out number 2. That brings up Luke Bakunis, the first baseman.
Yeah, great job bouncing back there after that walk, not losing Bant to another walk. So great job fighting and getting that second out and helping him fighting out his first inning despite allowing a runner.
Bakunis at the plate. He's been struggling. Throw down the first. Nearly gets away from the first baseman McNelly, but off of his glove and just out of his reach. Count now 1-0. Bakunis is 1 for his last 9. And off an 0 for 4 and 0 for 3 day.
Looking at Morano at first, only 2 stolen bases on the year, so not the fastest guy, so might be an opportunity to pick him off here as Reeder just tried.
The pitch inside, now 2-0. Kunis will be attending Middlesex Community College in the fall. Hitting .214 on the season. 2-0 from Dromboski. Sliced down the first baseline, foul. Two-one from the right-hander. Fouled off the plate. The count now 2-2. Logan Rooney, the catcher, on deck. Has the catching knee pads on just in case. Bakunis, the first baseman, makes the final out of this inning. Morano on first after the walk, and the pitch outside, 3-2. And the 3-2 count, the runner going low and outside, and a walk worked by the first baseman Bakunis. Puts runners on first and second for the catcher Logan Rooney.
Don't really see this from Dromboski on the mound. Only 13 walks in 25 and 2/3 innings pitched, so doesn't really have a tendency to do this. But 2 and 1 inning here, not a great sight for the Gens to start off this game.
Yeah, and Dromboski coming off a great outing, went 6 innings. That was a season high for the right-hander. Only 1 earned run, 3 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts in Game 1 against the Metros. And talking with Mike Coryell earlier today, Coryell told him, as long as you can go, the ball is yours. And he went 6 innings. And again, you have to remember, he was playing up in Linden, and the pitch in there for strike one, playing up in Linden on a turf field. And temperatures were reaching 100 degrees that day, Saturday morning. And he was playing on the turf field, which just makes the field hotter. But he was able to deliver 6 innings of 1-run ball despite the sweltering heat. And the 0-1, outside 1-1.
Yeah, looking at Rooney right now at the plate, definitely a guy the Matrix want up with a 3.11 average and 10 RBIs, but only 45 at bats. So with the work he's done, he's produced pretty well.
The 1-1 from Dromboski, chopped over off the mound goes Dromboski. Fields throws in time, and a nice scoop by McNelly, the first baseman. Ends the top half of the first inning. So the Matrix threaten but do not score. They leave 2 on as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. And the Gens will look to strike first here in winner-take-all playoff game at Fred Walters Field at Moody Park. We'll be right back for the bottom half of the first. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation. Seven one 5336. Excuse me. Owen West on the mound for the Matrix. Again, a last-minute start. We talked about in the open struggles control-wise that the left-hander has had. Be a freshman at NJIT. 0-2 this year with an over 13 ERA in 15 innings. He's struck out 20, but he's walked 31. That's, Jason, over 2 walks per inning.
Yeah, definitely an interesting choice going on the mound here. It does throw a lot of strikes, as you mentioned, so that's probably why they're putting faith in him. But that walks is not what you want to see from an elimination game starter that you'd think you'd put your ace into. And looking back at that game where they came here to face the Gens on the 19th of July, through 4 innings, give up 5 earned runs, just 2 walks though, and 8 strikeouts. So could either be throwing heat, striking out batters, making them fan, or allowing runners on.
And Jason, why don't you give us our starting lineup for the home half Gens?
So leading off, we got Scotty Young, the California kid, in center field. Chris Reeder in the 2-hole at catcher. Drew Wires in the 3-hole at third base. Matty Wright in the cleanup spot in right field. Aiden McNelly playing first, bat in fifth. Nick Ferry at the DH in the sixth spot. Jason Wolf in left field, batting seventh. Jared Hernandez in the eighth spot at second base. And rounding out the order at the ninth spot, Jake DeClerco at shortstop.
So, as you said, leading off for the Gens, Scotty Young, and in the field for the Matrix will be the pitcher turned left fielder Joe Correa, and then from right to left, or from left to right in center, Correa, Pietrowski, Vesco, and then left to right in the infield, you have Bant, Edwards Jr., Morano, and Bakunis, and behind the plate, Logan Rooney. So Scotty Young will lead things off for the Gens. And Young had a fun night last night. Saw the Yankees play and got to sit in the second row behind home plate.
Yeah, definitely a nice spot to sit there. Saw a picture of him on TV actually, so must have had a good night at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx.
And Young, of course, an all-star, leads this team in average runs, doubles, and home runs. Takes first pitch for a strike. So he actually got that ticket for free. His best friend is the son of a ex-major leaguer and Yankees hero, postseason hero, Jim Leyritz. And Leyritz's son hooked Scotty up with some tickets. All three went to the game together, and Scotty had a great time. Pitch in the dirt in front of home plate, and the count 1-1. Scotty said he had 3 hot dogs, a couple of sausages, I believe he said, 3 8-ounce filet mignons. So he took advantage of that free ticket and the all-you-can-eat buffet down in the Legends Club. And the pitch now outside, count 2-1.
Yeah, for a guy's size, you expect him to put down that much food in a game. No surprise there from him.
Young hitting 342 on the season. Rips one foul, and the count 2-2. Young 2 homers, 18 RBIs in the summer. Coming off a 1-for-5 day with the run and RBI versus Quakertown on Tuesday. Takes the pitch low, and the count now full. Young a hit in 8 of his last 9 contests. And the left-hander's 3-2. Strike 3 called. Scotty was on his way down the first, does not get the call, and as we said, it's a lot of either strikeouts or walks from the left-hander West, and right there gets a strikeout for out number 1.
Yeah, the thing is, he can strike out the side here, then walk a couple batters, give him a couple of hits, and it'd be a 2-run game. So, never know what you expect, really, inning for inning basis from West. So, see if he can be more consistent in this game.
Yeah, another hot hitter for the Gens, Chris Reeder. 9-game hit streak, tied for the first on the team in doubles, leads the team in hits. And the pitch from West. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 1. Chris Reeder, a part of last year's Allentown American Legion state title team, was acting as a coach on that team. He'll be a senior over at TCNJ in the fall. The pitch outside, and the count 1-1. That TCNJ hit 269, 4 homers, 28 RBIs. Second on the team in homers, RBIs, and doubles. And the 1-1 fouled back, 1-2.
Yeah, definitely a great hitter to have in this 2 spot. You mentioned leading or in the top 3 at least in a lot of the hitting categories for his team. So great job by Scotty Young and Reeder all season setting up the 3, 4, 5 hitters.
Reeder down in the count 1-2. And the pitch outside, 2-2. Reader hitting .324 on the season, 33 games, 18 RBIs. The 2-2. Fly ball popped up into foul territory. Reader calls a third baseman bant off, and Rooney, did he make the catch? He made the catch. Excuse me. So Rooney makes the catch and sliding in foul territory for out number 2.
Yeah, great job there. Those are one of the most difficult plays to make as a catcher with that ball coming back towards the infield and you're back facing it. Definitely difficult play to make. And as you saw there, made a sliding grab, not the easiest play.
Drew Wires at the plate. Getting 217 on the year, a home run, 7 RBIs in the summer. And the first pitch hits Wires in the left foot, and a 2-out hit by pitch for Wires.
Yeah, it seemed like a poorly placed curveball there, or off-speed pitch as that movement looked like just slowly curved into Wires' leg.
Addy Wright hitting .329 on the season. That's second on the team. 11 RBIs as well. Wires on first after the hit by pitch.
Wires has 9 stolen bases on the year, so West has to keep an eye on him. The lefty throwing position, as he throws over, definitely has the advantage, I think, at preventing him from stealing.
And the pitch from West. Down the middle for strike 1. Wright coming off an 0-for-1 day versus Quakertown, had a walk. And just an all-around great game for the Blazers in that one. A 6-0 win, a one-hitter, a one-hit shutout from 7 different pitchers on the Gen side. Pitch inside, 1-1.
Yeah, absolutely great game there. Just you wondered if the Quakertown Blazers weren't coming into that with trying 100% of the time, but their coach said they were playing it like a regular game. So interesting to Reese not go too far and give a few runs.
Pitch outside, and the count now 2-1. Nathan McNelly, who's been swinging a hot bat, stands on deck. 2 outs, Wires on first. And the pitch from West, runner goes. Pitch is high, and the throw down the second, not in time. The stolen base for Wires puts the Gens with the runner in scoring position, 2 outs.
Yeah, just when it looks like West is going to get through this inning, 1-2-3. Now, 3-1 count. Very good shot from Matty Wright to bring in a run. Who's runner at second now after that stolen base.
And talking with head coach Glenn Fredericks before the game for the Matrix, he talked about we have to limit our errors with runners in scoring position. You know, allowing those runners to score has been a big problem for New Brunswick this season. That one flied into the edge of the outfield grass, just inside the outfield grass, and caught by the second baseman Morano for out number 3. So the Gens threaten, do not score, and we head to the top half of the second inning. Scoreless here at Moody Park. You're watching ACBL playoff action on NJ College Baseball Nation. And we welcome you back here to Moody Park as Ryan Dromboski's favorite cheap sunglasses by ZZ Top plays over the PA system. The right-hander back on the mound for the Gens in this top half of the second inning is brought to you by the Rural Financial Group. The Rural Financial Group is a major sponsor of Trenton Generals Baseball. Located in Princeton, the Rural Financial Group is an office of the Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. Call 609-951-8700. Again, 609-951-8700 and set up a meeting with the representative today. So now Jacob Vetsko will lead things off. The right fielder stands in from Dayton. Fouls one back for strike one. And Vetsko on the season. Swung on the miss for strike two. And the 0-2. Inside, the count now 1-2.
Yeah, something Vesco have to limit this game, and if the Matrix want to make a run, it's just strikeouts, where it's third in the league in strikeouts with it's 38.
And once fouled away, the count remains 1-2.
Yeah, 162 average. Overall, not a great hitting season from Vesco. They're going to turn it around here in the playoffs, try to help the Matrix out.
And the count now 2-2. Vetsko over at Dayton. That one is outside. The count now 3-2. So limited time, only 5 games at 3 at bats, 1 for 3. And the 3-2 outside, so Vetsko works a leadoff walk. And that brings up Sean Pietrowski.
Yeah, very unusual sight here from Dromboski. 3 walks already. Just a lot of these at bats, getting the hitters into their favorable counts in 2-0s, 3-1s, and very unusual to see this out of them, especially in scenario like we are in the playoffs.
Sean Pietrowski at the plate, hitting under 200. He'll be a sophomore at Ramapo, 5 RBIs in 22 games this summer. And Dromboski, coming off such a great outing against, at the time, the second place Metros. Struggled already today. The 3 walks, as you mentioned, Jason. And Coach Coryell was talking about how he likes to talk with the third baseman as he coaches third base when his team is up to bat. And the third baseman for the Metros was saying, how the ball was really looking good coming out of the hand of Dromboski. And usually the third basemen don't say that. They don't want to reveal that the opposing pitcher is looking great on the mound. But from his at-bats, the third baseman commented to Coryell how he looked so good, and that one lined right back up the middle and visibly frustrated as the right-hander. Now runners on first and second for the Matrix here in the top half of the second.
Yeah, from these 1+ inning of work from Dromboski looks like the relievers might have some work to do whenever they come in. It's a very good opportunity for the Matrix to put on multiple runs here in this inning.
And so now Joe Correa in a big spot for his team. Thought we'd see him on the mound again. 1-1 with a 3.24 ERA. 33 strikeouts for this Matrix club, but instead batting 8th in the lineup playing left field. And he does not have any at-bats on the season. So this
Very interesting spot to put your pitcher in who doesn't have any hitting experiences this summer in a playoff position. I know it is the 8-hole, but still have to have some confidence in here to do that.
He fouls one back, and his teammates making a little noise over at second base. Vetsko. And yeah, this is a huge spot for the Matrix. A winner take all game, first and second, no outs, and you got a guy who's not taking one at bat the entire summer for the Matrix now at the plate. The 0-2 fouls one back, stays alive. If you're the right-hander Dromboski, you have to get Correa out. No reason not to.
Yeah, this last two hitters, both pitchers for the Matrix, so definitely should be two get right at bats for Dromboski, trying to get his momentum back in this game.
Pitch outside, 1-2. A 9-hole hitter in DH Shane Salveson stands on deck and outside 2-2. Dromboski doesn't like the call from the home plate umpire Dave Perry. Mike Beals over at second tonight. And the 2-2 from Dromboski. That one's chopped over the second baseman Hernandez. Flips to the shortstop to Clerico for one onto first. Not in time, so they get one runner, but now runners on the corners with one out for Salveson.
Yeah, at least got another runner from getting in scoring position and preventing two from there. But still, the runner at third, definitely a great chance for the Matrix here to get the first run of the game across.
And for a guy who hasn't swung the bat the entire summer, that's a win for Correa and the Matrix. He got on base, advanced the lead runner. Many might thought he'd strike out, me included, but instead works the count against the pitcher Dromboski and gets on base and moves Vexco up to third. Now Salveson in at the plate. And the 0-1. Outside 1-1.
Yeah, and Salveson can do the same here. Hit a grounder up to the middle infielders out loud. Vesco to score most likely, so would be a very good situation for the Matrix and these last two hitters who are pitchers.
That one swung on and missed from Salveson. The count 1-2. And Salveson, another one of those guys who has played in one game the entire season and does not have a recorded at bat. So we look at the 8-9 hitters for the Matrix, and they should be quote unquote easy outs, but Dromboski's struggling to count now 2-2. And you got to assume, Jason, the reason that the 8-9 hitters for a playoff game are guys who have not hit at all during the summer, at least a recorded plate appearance, is because they don't have enough guys. And the 2-2, that one's chopped over to the second baseman Hernandez. He throws and makes the play at first, but the lead runner Vexco able to score. And over the second goes Correa, and the Matrix take a 1-0 lead here in the second.
Yeah, it's honestly what the Matrix could really hope for in that bet with two pitchers. Just you figured they were gonna get out, but at least they made it productive outs, moving a runner across and Correa's at bat, and then Salvacine scoring the runner there.
Now Brad Edwards Jr. at the plate. Takes strike one, and the count now 0-1. And the 0-1 outside. Three straight hitters, two who have not hit the entire year in Correa and Salveson, both pitchers by birth, and then Brad Edwards Jr., who has struggled all season long, batting leadoff for the Matrix, but a chance to extend their lead. Chops one foul, and the count 1-2. But a guy who has shined all year at the plate, Gianni Morano stands in on deck. Of course, the All-Star. The 1-2. That one is flied out to right, giving chases. The right fielder right makes the catch in foul territory. And the inning ends, but not before the Matrix tack on one, thanks to competitive at-bats by pitchers Correa and Salveson. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. The Gens trail 1-0. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation. And we welcome you back here to the bottom half of the second inning. The Gens with some work to do. Left-hander Owen West back on the hill for New Brunswick. This bottom half of the second inning is brought to you by Northfield Bank. Northfield Bank is a full-service community bank with 38 branches serving Metro New York and New Jersey. Northfield Bank strives each day to uphold its mission to be the financial institution of choice to individuals and businesses by delivering innovative financial products and exceptional customer service. For more information, visit your local branch or call 833-301-NFBK. And Jason, the Gens have some work to do at the plate here in the second.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Owen West, one of the most inconsistent pitchers in this league. In seems like he's a different pitcher every time he takes the mound. But we'll see if he can be more consistent here. Hopefully for the Gens, have one of those innings where he's not really feeling himself on the mound.
Aiden McNilly, the all-star for the Gens, hitting .278, 20 RBIs in 28 games this season. Second on the team in hits and RBIs. And the pitch outside, 1-0. And one of the big parts of the Quakertown Trenton game on Tuesday here at Moody Park that Coach Coryell really took away from the game, as that one's in there for strike one, the count now 1-1, was the fact that he asked McNelly, the four-hole hitter in that game, to put down the sacrifice, ends up scoring the run in that game with runners on first and second, moves both runners up, and that run on third ended up scoring. He really saw that as a not I but we moment, as that one's popped up into shallow center field, caught by the second baseman Morano for out number one. And the team is really playing together. They're not playing with the I me first mentality. They're playing with the team first mentality. And he got this team to buy into winning, and he's built team camaraderie and the sense of what we want to accomplish, not what I want to accomplish.
Yeah, going back to that bunt, you're in the moment. You're thinking, why would they have the four-hole here bunting guy with that much power and ability to bring in runs? But it paid off, as you mentioned, and it's a great way to put on runs in that game in the 6-0 shutout.
Nick Ferry at the plate. Ferry only hitting .176 on the season, but coming off a great day, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs on Tuesday versus the Blazers.
And Ferry doing great the past 3 games with at least one RBI in each of those games. Quickly down 0-2 here.
And the 0-2 from the left-hander swung on and missed. The second strikeout of the night for Owen West. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. So Jason Wolf now at the plate, hitting .238 on the season. Up high for ball one.
Wolf has himself a run as well, just like Nick Ferry, but this with getting on bases has a 6-game on base streak, does Jason Wolf.
The 1-0 called a strike. The count now 1-1. Wolf, a Kutztown University product, hitting .186, a homer, 4 RBIs. 22 games back in the spring. The 1-1 called a strike, 1-2. And the 1-2 swung on and missed. Off-speed pitch from West gets Wolf to go down swinging, and we head to the top of the third with the Matrix up 1-0. You're watching ACBL playoff action on NJ College Baseball Nation. And we welcome you back here to NJ College Baseball Nation with the Gens trailing 1-0. The right-hander Ryan Dromboski back on the mound for the Gens as he tries to keep the score at 1-0. And this top of the third inning is brought to you by Applebee's Grill and Bar, your local Applebee's locations in Mercer and Bucks County at 3330 U.S. Highway 1 in Lawrenceville, 333 Route 33 in Hamilton, and 2 West Road in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Applebee's is proud to sponsor Gens Baseball. Gianni Morano will lead things off for the Matrix as they look to add on after scoring 1 in the top of the second. The first pitch called a strike, 0-1.
And Dromboski continuing to really struggle despite only giving up 1 run that last inning.
That one's flied out to left. Wolf has room in front of the warning track, makes the catch for out number 1.
Good first out there, but in that last inning, to lead off, give up a walk and a single, and got the last 3 outs, but did allow 2 pitchers to ground out. But that allowed runners to advance. Eventually, on the salvage scene, ground out, allowed a runner to score to get this game to 1-0. Matrix up.
Jay Bant from Wall, New Jersey stands in. Takes a strike. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first. And 0-1. Fouled back. And the 0-2. Inside 1-2. Bant again will be a sophomore at Monmouth. 215 in 27 games in the spring. Takes ball 2, 2-2.
Here we got another count. Dromboski gets ahead and slowly losing the batter, bringing the count to even after getting ahead in 2 strikes.
And the 2-2. Chopped foul down the first base side. Dromboski's 2-2 was inside. Continues to have trouble finding the plate. Just has not been something we've said a lot this year. Really not something we haven't said at all this year about the All-Star Dromboski. He's prided himself on his ability to control the ball over the plate. That's a check swing foul on the third base line. Stays foul. 3-2.
Yeah, I really see Dromboski again, these high ball counts. A lot of full counts he's seen this at bat. A lot of 3-ball counts just in general. So, as we mentioned throughout this broadcast, not what you see from usual Ryan Dromboski.
And the 3-2. Called strike 3. Bant doesn't like it. Dromboski gets the call for out number 2.
Yeah, definitely a close call, but a little help there from the ump could help Dromboski get some more momentum going. 2 straight outs and first strikeout since the first inning for Ryan.
So now Bant is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts looking. Home plate umpire Dave Perry gives a stern warning to Jay Bant. Unhappy after his first 2 at-bats. That pitch is fouled back 0-1 to Luke Bakunis. Pitch outside. Kunis will be a freshman at Middlesex. Only hitting .214 on the summer.
Just again, their reader dropped in their ball, unable to squeeze it. That could affect him on some strike 2 calls when he has to frame a pitch. He continues to drop it.
Now 1-2 count. Count now 2-2. Rooney is on deck. He grounded to the pitcher Dromboski to end the first inning. That one's outside. Now 3-2. 3-2 count. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the top half of the third inning for the right-hander Dromboski. We head to the bottom half of the third. Jared Hernandez due up for the Gens. You're watching ACBL playoff action on NJ College Baseball Nation. So the second baseman, Jared Hernandez, will lead things off for the Gens in the home half of the third inning. Bottom half of the third inning is brought to you by King's Pizzarama. Just a long toss away from Moody Park at 200 Ewingville Road. King's Pizzarama is proud to sponsor the Player of the Game award for each Gens game this season. Great slices, sandwiches, and pies. They'll even deliver to the field at Moody Park. It's King's Pizzarama at 200 Ewingville Road. And the Gens have to start to get going on offense, down 1-0, no hits from Owen West, who coming into this one an over 13 ERA, Jason. What do the Gens have to do? Just give a spark to this offense.
Really have to take what he's giving you when he's throwing balls over his plate. He does that, as we know, because he's striking batters out, but really have to read that movement off his hand and then take advantage of any off speed that's over the plate, really.
Jared Hernandez, Puerto Rico native, transfer from Friends University, now attends Mercy College. Hitting .256 on the summer. And the pitch in there for strike one. Hernandez, 12 RBIs, 33 games, coming off a 1-for-2 day last Saturday against the Metros. Had a run and a double. 0-1, bounced in the dirt. Count 1-1. And the left-handers 1-1 outside, 2-1. Hernandez played his high school ball at Cherry Hill West. Jason says his favorite TV show is Ozark. Do you watch Ozark?
No, I'm not.
No.
Do want to get into it, though. Seems like a very interesting show.
And the 2-1. Inside 2-2. Or 3-1, excuse me. The NJIT product, the West, has retired the last 4 hitters after a hit by pitch to wires. The only base runner allowed so far tonight. That one is lined into left for a base hit and gets all the way to the wall, past the left-hander Correa. And rounding second is Hernandez now takes a big stop in between second and third and will go back to second, diving in. But a leadoff double for Hernandez puts a runner in scoring position here for the Gens in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, scary sight to see on that big turn, almost getting caught in the middle of the base pass, but luckily able to get back. Maybe if that ball was hitting right field, could be a triple, but not to left field when Correa's able to get to that ball quickly and have a shorter throw.
And again, a reminder: a left-handed pitcher is in left field for the Matrix. Joe Correa, who was slated to start this one, instead playing out in left, which we assume is due to the Matrix having not enough players to field the team here in the winner-take-all playoff game. And you see the fielding miscue from Correa, who's not used to playing the outfield, could prove costly for the Gens. Now the 1-0. Outside 2-0. Jake DeClerico now at the plate. And Jake, a very interesting story. Originally was playing in the MCBL, was the All-Star Game MVP, was really tearing it up there. And talking to Mike Olshin, the Gens GM, talking about his great season in the MCBL, Olsh asked him if he wanted a spot on the Gens, and he said, I was pretty stunned that he did not expect that. And now the 2-0, up high, it gets a call, joins the team, and he said it's really cool to be playing with a lot of D1 guys, and not something that he's done too often. He's from County College of Morris, will be attending Rutgers in the fall, and was originally not going to try to walk onto the Rutgers team. Was just going to focus on the academic side of things. The 3-0. Outside ball 4. Now gets away from the catcher, Rooney. He can't find it. Heading over the third is Hernandez. Over the first is DeClerico. Runners on the corners for the Gens. And so, as I was saying, DeClerico was originally going to stop playing baseball after his sophomore year at County College of Morris. Well, now thinking about walking on to the Rutgers baseball team.
And West has been doing first two innings, but this could be that infamous inning where it gives up a couple walks, a couple base hits, and allows some runs to score. As we haven't seen, I think West has pitched 3 shutout innings in a row throughout this season, so could be the chance here for the Gents to score, especially with probably their best hitter on the team stepping to the plate now, Scotty Young.
Now, Scotty Young, arguably the best player on this Gens team, takes ball 1, and the count now 1-0. Scotty, who attended Santa Ana College his freshman year, a California kid from Mission Viejo, will now be attending Rowan College in the fall. Great D3 program. And the pitch outside, 2-0. Every game, it seems, Young does something special where it's in the field, manning center field, or at the plate. On the base pass with the speed. Can run, I believe, a 6'3", 40-yard dash. He stands in at 6'6", 215.
Yeah, really all-around athletic player can, as you mentioned, somehow will affect the game pretty much every game where it's hitting, fielding, or running on the base pass. Finds a way to help out this Gens team in any way he can.
Runners at the corners for the Gens. Big swing and miss from Scotty for strike 1. Scotty hit in 8 of his last 9 games. And he was a pretty wild story himself, how he ended up on Mike Olshin's Gens. And the 2-1, runner goes, pitch inside. No throw down the second, and DeClerico steals second. Runners on second and third now for the Gens. Scotty Young came over here, originally was going to play for a team in the ACBL, but found out when he got here to New Jersey, again from California, found out the team he was playing for was actually a Tri-County Beer League team, which he was told by his friend was an ACBL team. So he gets here, a little stunned. He was the youngest player, he said, by about 20 years, and ended up getting in contact with Olsh. She came to a showcase in late June in front of a few scouts, a college player showcase, and Olsh liked what he saw and signed him to the Gens, and he's been here ever since, and he works a walk. Now the bases are loaded with a 2-hole hitter and catcher, Chris Reeder.
And if Scotty Young's the one you really want up in these situations, Chris Reeder's got to be your number 2 with leading the team. Sorry, third on team in average, second on team, tied for second on team in RBI. So great hitter to have up here in the bases loaded situation in the playoff game.
Reeder riding the 9-game hit streak. We'll look to extend that to double digits with a big swing right here. Popped out to the catcher in his first at-bat. And the pitch from West, off speed up high, and the count 1-0. DeClerico over at second, Hernandez at third, Young at first. A double, a single, and a walk for the first 3 hitters for the Gens in the bottom half of the third. After working a clean first 2 innings with only 1 base runner allowed for the left-hander West, he struggled here in the third. The 1-0 to Reeder. Catches the strike zone inside. Reeder doesn't like the call. It's now 1-1.
That seemed pretty inside, almost on Reeder's knuckles hitting them. So interesting call there. Still, great opportunity for Reeder to take advantage right here with the bases loaded.
Reeder with a .324 average. Third on the team. And the 1-1. Inside, the count 2-1. Reeder, one of the older guys on this team, will be a senior at TCNJ. As told guys all season long, he has a quote, "The less you do up there at the plate, the better it's going to be." He wants his teammates, especially the younger ones, to not think too much at the plate. And the 2-1, that one is squibbed out into shallow right field, and an over-the-shoulder catch made by the first baseman Bakunis. A great play. That could have proved trouble for the Gens, for the Matrix, excuse me. But instead, a nice catch over the shoulder by Bakunis for out number 1, and all the runners have to hold.
Yeah, it looked like trouble there as you mentioned for the Matrix. Could have been at least a run. Then, as he made an amazing grab, looked like some of the runners might have been caught off the base, but luckily everyone was able to get back and just 1 out here for Wires now.
Drew Wires at the plate. Only hitting .217. It has scored a run in 6 straight games, 7 of his last 8. Pitch outside, 1-0. We'll see if Bakunis' catch proves costly for the Gens, or if they're able to strike with 1 out and the bases loaded. Pitch from West inside, 2-0. Matty Wright, second on the team in average, waits on deck. Wires hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, then stole second. Wires with a huge pinch hit home run back on July 19th. Actually got that ball back. He'll be a rising freshman at Stetson. And that was his first home run versus collegiate pitching. So after he hit that right inside the left field line, the guys from the bullpen got the ball back and gifted it to him after his 2-run shot. A big situation here. Bases loaded, 1 out. And the pitch up high, 3-0.
And Wise leads this team in walks with his 18, so looking to add to the total here and even bring home a run. Very patient hitter up there.
And the pitch in there for strike one. Wires the South Jersey Player of the Year. Led all of South Jersey in home runs for a second consecutive year, a .534 average, 13 homers, 32 RBIs for Northern Burlington High School. And the 3-1. Catches the outside part of the plate, and the count now full. Jason, a big pitch coming up to Wires.
Yeah, just a strikeout here would limit the ways the Gens can score. So he definitely wants to get a hit here or a walk to get a run across and try to get a run going for this Gens team.
Hernandez on third, DeClerico on second, Young on first. And the 3-2. Up high, ball four, and West walks in the run. Hernandez comes in to score. Everybody moves up a base, and it is tied 1-1 here in the third.
Yeah, very patient hitter, as I mentioned, able to use that patience to get them on the board here and tie up the ball game.
Now, Matty Wright hitting .329 on the season. And 4 is 0 for 1 day with a walk versus Quakertown on Tuesday. He was 9 for his last 13, 4 runs and 4 RBIs. Another one of these young guys will be a freshman at Stony Brook in the fall. And a big spot. And the pitch gets away from the catcher, Rooney. Breaking for home is DeClerico. He scores as Young moves up the third. Over the second goes Wires, and it is 2-1. Gens lead here in the bottom half of the third.
You mentioned the top of this inning. West very inconsistent and rare to see 3 straight innings on him where he doesn't allow a run. So Jen's taking advantage of the mistakes right here, taking the lead.
And we talked about Jason at the top of the broadcast. West, a pitcher who allows over 2 walks per inning in this 15 innings of action this year on the mound. Was rolling through the first 2, but it was just a matter of time before the Gens hitters got to him. That one's fouled back on the third base side, 1-1. Matty Wright out of Somerville High School. Back in the spring. Hit just under 500 at a homer, 19 RBIs, 10 stolen bases as well. And the 1-1. That one's ripped down the first base line. Fair. Excuse me, foul. And both umpires call it foul. That was clearly over the first base bag and fair, but Dave Perry and Mike Beals call it foul, and so instead of a 2-run extra base hit for Matty Wright, second and third, and still 1 out for the Gens.
Yeah, that seemed like a pretty clear call from here, and especially when you're looking right down that first base line, you should be able to see it. You would think the umpire had a better view than us and be able to see that, but apparently not there from him.
And now the 1-2 from West, up high, and the count 2-2.
It very well should be a 4-1 ball game right here, and still a man on second for the Gens, but try to not get hung up on that play right there and try to capitalize here with Matty Wright.
And the 2-2. That one's fouled back, and the count remains 2-2. So potentially a big break for the Matrix. We'll see if the left-hander West can capitalize. The 2-2. That's flied out into right. Excuse me, into center. Pietrowski makes the catch, tagging is Scotty Young. He scores, and the Gens lead 3-2, or 3-1, here in the third.
And at least they were able to get at least 1 run out of that, but still not to harp on that missed fair ball that was foul, but It's a pretty rough call there, but luckily they got a 2-run lead with that sac fly.
Now Aiden McNally at the plate for the Gens. First pitch inside. McNally hitting .278 on the season coming into today. First at bat, popped up to the second baseman. McNally from Limerick, Pennsylvania, will be attending Daytona State College in the fall. And the 1-0. Popped up to the second baseman Morano. Under it, makes the catch for out number 3. The Gens score 3 as we head to the top half of the 4th. Trenton leads 4-3-1. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation.
Welcome back here to Moody Park. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation. I'm Jason O'Connell, partnered by Aaron Arnstein. And after a 3-run bottom of the 3rd, Trenton Generals lead 3-1 on a New Brunswick Matrix. ACBL Baseball is brought to you by Wildflowers Inn. With its great upscale menu, Wildflowers Inn on the Pennington Circle at 2572 Pennington Road also has a 20% discount if a player is in uniform. Upscale dining and a great atmosphere pregame, postgame, anytime. Check out Wildflowers Inn. So Ryan Dromboski stays in the game with 3 innings of work under his belt and seemed to improve a little from the first 2 in that last inning with a 1-2-3 inning. Still working with some 3-ball counts, but definitely improved with a quick inning there. See if he can build some momentum here and continue longer into this game. Logan Rooney in the bat now. Swing and misses at the first pitch. Count is now 0-1. Rooney grounded out Dromboski in his first at bat, which was in the first inning. Takes the pitch to Aaron. It's quickly down 0-2 in this top of the 4th. Dromboski from the windup. Fouled off his foot. Rooney remains at 0-2. Rooney 4th on his team in average, 311. Also 10 RBIs on the year, as we mentioned. Very productive here in this middle of the lineup for the Matrix when he does bat. The 0-2. Popped. Out of play. Count remains at 0-2 as Rooney keeps fighting off these pitches from Dromboski. Pops that one softly to wires as he gets under it for the first out. I'll bring up to bat Jake Esco. Esco walked in his first at bat and came around to score for the first run of the ball game, and the only run for the Matrix so far. Looking to get on base again to try to answer the Gens' 3-run inning. Big swing and miss there at a ball. Way in the dirt, counts now 0-1. Strike there. Count is now 0-2. Catch play for a look and strikeout. 3 pitches there from Dromboski, and could be building some steam here on the mound after a rough first 2 innings. 2 quick outs again from the pitcher from Penn. Sean Pietrowski in the bat now for the Matrix. Playing center field in the 7th spot. Ball there on the first pitch, counts now 1-0. Popped up in the shallow left field. Coming under it is Scotty Young. And a very quick inning from Ryan Dromboski on the mound. Another 1-2-3 inning as the Brunswick is unable to answer the 3-run inning for Gens. We'll be right back here in the bottom of the 4th as the Generals look to add to the lead on NJ College Baseball Nation. Welcome back here on NJ College Baseball Nation. We're heading to the bottom of the 4th as Generals are up by 2 runs on the New Brunswick Matrix. Generals Baseball is brought to you by Team Toyota. Team Toyota of Langhorne and Princeton have kept us on the road for decades with impeccable sales and customer service. Call 609-745-6394 in Princeton or 215-791-8831 in Langhorne for more. Team Toyota, be a part of the team. Last time the Generals came to bat, they were able to put up 3 runs. Started off with a double by Jared Hernandez, and a walk was brought home a run from Wires, and then a sacrifice fly. Also, the other RBI that inning by Matty Wright. It's in the bat now. Nick Ferry coming to the plate. Ferry struck out in the 2nd inning in his first at bat. Ferry, as you mentioned, a little hot streak going here with an RBI in the last 3 games, and as we were watching him in the batting practice, was ripping the ball pretty hard in the cage when the pitches from Coryell. See if he can continue a hot streak here in this single elimination playoff game. Line foul. Counts 0-1 now to Ferry. Just a little early on that pitch.
First baseman Byron Koo almost Tried to make a barehanded play, or first base coach, I should say, Byron Go. It was added to the team after Mike Coryell took the college, or excuse me, Grant Neary took the college job.
So that's softly popped in the shallow left field, making the run as Correa is unable to make the grab. Ferry's going to head to second. That's going to be a standing double for Nick Ferry, continuing his hot streak here into the playoffs. So runners in scoring position with after the first at-bat in this inning for the Gens.
And there you go with the pitcher out in left field. Not sure if Correa overran that ball or got a late break on it, but ultimately just out of his reach. I respect the hustle, which he didn't show with his last miscue out and left, but that time Ferry gets on second.
Jason Wolf in the bat now for the Gens. Struck out in his first at-bat, which was in the second. Looking to bring home Ferry here. Shows bunt, pulls back as the ball is up and out of zone. Few extra base hits in this game for the Gens so far, with a double from Hernandez and a double from Ferry just now. The 1-0 pitch. Hit softly in the shallow right field. Coming in on it is Vesco, unable to make the play as it's in no man's land. That's going to move Ferry up to third, and runners will be on the corners. And no outs here. It's in the bat now for the Gens. Jared Hernandez, who led off the last inning with a double.
Jason Wolf doing a nice job putting the bat to the ball and just dunking it out in shallow right field.
Yeah, when you're hot like the Gens are, it seems like those type of balls just fall for you and allow you to get hit on those blue pits. Wes looking over to Wolf at first, and the pitch up inside. Count as 1-0 to Hernandez. Hernandez has 12 RBIs in the regular season and 82 at bats. Looking to get RBI here in the first postseason game. Pitch from West. Inside the zone this time. Count is now 1-1. Ferry on third. Wolf on first for the Gens. Hernandez faces a 1-1 count with no outs. Wolf off. Throw down from Rooney. Up is Ferry. And he's going to be tagged out. To try to go for the double steal, but Matrix were ready for it, preventing a run from scoring again the first out of this inning.
And that's a heads-up play by the Matrix. We've seen the Gens do that a few times this year. The runner breaks for second and the runner on third then breaks for home. That time, Ferry was a dead duck at home plate. And it was a valiant effort, but Ferry fell a few steps short. But at least Wolf is now in scoring position.
Yeah, you get a runner in scoring position, but definitely better to have two runners on, no outs. But see if Hernandez can capitalize nonetheless here. Chopped up the middle. Wolf's going to move up to third as Edwards picks off the ball and gets out at first. Now a runner at third. 2 outs here for Jake DeClerco as he steps up to bat.
An excellent play by Edwards Jr. Catching that on a short hop on the run, all in one motion, throws to get the out at first. That's just a great play by the shortstop.
Yeah, just when it looked like a great chance for the Gens to score with runners on the corners and no outs. They're quickly here to 2 outs now with a 9-hole hitter in the bat now. So West looks to get out of this inning unharmed. Popped up there. Looks playable for Bakunis, and he does make the third out. Wasted opportunity there for the Kings after a double and single to lead off the inning, but then 3 quick outs by West. We'll be right back here for the top of the 5th as the Matrix look to cut into this 2-run lead for the Gens. Welcome back here as the game remains 3-1. Gens over the New Brunswick Matrix here at Moody Park. Our game today is brought to you by Northfield Bank, a full-service community bank with 38 branches serving Metro New York and New Jersey. Northfield Bank strives each day to uphold its mission to be the financial institution of choice to individuals and businesses by delivering innovative financial products and exceptional customer service. For more information, visit your local branch or call 833-301-NFBK. Dromboski rolling through these last two innings, retiring the side. It's third and the fourth, looking to do it again here in the top of the fifth. Joe Correa steps in the bat now. Did a great job of hitting for his experience at the plate with ground out there that allowed the runner to move to third and eventually come around to score. This takes the first pitch for a ball. Another pitch for a ball that was low in the dirt this time. Count is quickly to 2-0. Popped out of play by Correa. Now a 2-1 count.
And Dromboski is now retired 7 straight hitters, and there's no reason he shouldn't retire the next two in Correa and Salveson, both pitchers usually.
Catches the plate there, and Dromboski fought back in his count, bringing it to 2-2. Shakes off a couple pitches, finds the one he likes. Catches the edge of the zone for a looking strike out, and the first out of this inning for the Gens.
So after a tough first 2 innings from Dromboski, he's really battled back. Now 5 strikeouts on the night for him.
Looking at his toll here with another pitcher at the plate, as you mentioned. Inside there, Salveson had to dodge the pitch. Count is now 1-0. Catches the inside plate this time. Count is now 1-1. Dromboski working really quickly as he's found his groove and wants to keep up the pace here on the mound. Chopped up to the shortstop. Clerco Wires actually cuts him off. Is unable to make the play as Salveson is running down the line pretty fast and is able to get in there on a difficult play that would have to be made by Wires.
Yeah, interesting there. I mean, Wires cut off the Clerico's path to have a quicker throw, but a throw just wide. A nice play by McNelly stopped that from going into foul territory.
Leadoff hitter, or top of the order now in with Brad Edwards Jr. So for 2 on the day with a fly out and a ground out. With a run on first now for him and 1 out. Chopped up the middle to the Clerico, unable to make the dive and grab. Salveson is going to move up to third. Throw comes into second, keeping Edwards at first. Runners on their corners now with 1 out for the Matrix.
It didn't look like the center fielder Young had a shot at throwing Salveson at third, so a smart play to just throw it to second and not risk that ball going into foul territory, getting past the third baseman Wires and allowing a run to score.
Gianni Morano in the bat now. One of the team's all-stars. Definitely the bat you want at the plate right now if you're the Matrix. Chopped off his foot, foul. Count is now 0-1. Morano leads his team in RBIs, looking to get his first of the postseason here. Now down 0-1 after that foul ball. Dromboski from the stretch. Fouled off again by Morano, quickly down 0-2 here. Strikeout would be huge here, preventing any sort of sacrifice play at allowing the runner from third to score.
Yeah, this is a big at-bat for Morano in the Matrix, down 3-1. Arguably your best hitter at the plate. Got to make something happen if you're Morano.
Up and out zone, count is now at 2-2. Salveson at third, Edwards at first. Morano in a 1-2 count here with 1 out. Edwards off. Swing and a miss there. Reader blocks the ball. Edwards will move up on the stolen base, but 2 outs here now after that strikeout swinging.
And that's just a poor swing by Morano, but clearly was fooled by the pitch from Dromboski. Was way out in front of it, and the pitch did not even stand a chance to cross the strike zone. So Dromboski gets a little lucky there, but the runner does move up. Runners on second and third now for Bant. Just looking to turn his day around. 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, 3-holer and a bat now. As mentioned, this hot streak so far since he's arrived at the Matrix. First pitch is a ball there. Count is now 1-0. And 15 for 40 in July at the plate. Great middle of the summer for him here. Chop to second baseman Hernandez as he's going to make the third out to McNelly to prevent any runners from scoring in this inning, despite leaving runners on second and third. Did the Matrix. We'll be right back here for the bottom of the fifth as the Gents take the bat. Welcome back here on NJ College Baseball Nation as the Trenton Generals lead 3-1 over the New Brunswick Matrix, heading into the bottom of the fifth. Roher and Vale Real Estate is a proud sponsor of ACBL Baseball, your South Jersey source for real estate. RoherVale.com, RoherVail.com, or call Chapman Vale at 856-571-5336. And looking back at the last inning, pretty big opportunity for the Generals to add on to the lead with Nick Ferry leading off the inning with a double. Jason Wolf then following with a single. But Ferry was trying to steal home on a double steal. Got tagged out. And a quick ground out by Hernandez. And a pop out at the clear kill ruined what seemed like a golden opportunity for the Gens. Look to add some runs on here, which they could have in that last inning. That's top of the order comes to bat, and Scotty Young. Scotty Young with a strikeout and a walk today. Did come around to score in the third inning, one of those 3 runs to score that inning. Opt out of play. Count is now 0-1 to Young. Great all-around season for Young. All-star, finalist in the home run derby, leads his team in average and extra base hits. So great job from him here, coming over from the West Coast to Jersey. In the dirt, about 3 feet in front of the plate. Count is now 1-1. Well, from the stretch. Big cut there by Young. Bring it to a 1-2 count now. The 1-2 count from West. Up and out of zone. Bring it count to even at 2. West trying not to lose Young here. Refraining from trying to prevent the lead off runner batter from getting on base. Low in the dirt, bringing the count to full. Great job being patient from Scotty Young.
This is what Scotty Young does. He makes the pitcher work, and especially in a tired pitcher in West, really making him work here in the fifth.
The payoff pitch. Chopped to the second baseman, Morano. Makes the toss over to Bakunis for the first out.
That's a big first out. Scotty Young reaches base on great clip to get him out. He's 0 for 2 on the day. That's a big way to start this bottom half of the fifth for West.
Chris Reeder in the bat now has 2 pop-outs on the day, making him 0 for 2. Steps in with the bases empty with 1 out. Out of the zone, count is now to 1-0.
Chris Reeder not having a good day at the plate. West has gotten him to pop up twice. Now, granted, that second play was a nice catch. The over the
Bounces
shoulder.
off the plate. Count is now 2-0 quickly to Reeder.
That was the over the shoulder play by Bakunis, but still, Reeder is on the 9-game hit streak 0 for 2.
Yeah, and since a week between the 7th and the 14th, where Reeder went 2 for 16, has gone 13 for 20 since 13 for 27 since that cold streak. So great job bouncing back after that one rough week from him. Takes a pitch, bringing the count to 3-0 on 3 pitches. Pitch from West. Misses the plate. 4-pitch walk. Allowing Reeder to get the first. 3-hole hitter Drew Wires in the bat now for the Gens.
Number 27, third baseman Drew Wires.
Wires had a RBI sac fly in that 3rd inning. Just the 3rd run that came across the score. Early on that pitch there. Count now 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from West. Another swing and miss there from Wires. Quickly down 0-2. West looking for another strikeout today. Would make it 4. The 0-2. Misses the edge of the plate. Counts now at 1-2. That pitch has been called a strike a few times here today, so. But luckily, Wires still alive in the plate right now for this at bat.
It's a big pitch from West. Obviously a high strikeout pitcher, but also a high walk pitcher. Does not want allow Wires to get back into this count.
The 1-2. Hit into the 3rd set shortstop gap for a single. As Correa has some trouble feeling it, but no runners will advance on that. Runners on 1st and 2nd now as 4-hole hitter Matty Wright steps to the plate. Good opportunity to tag on some runs here for the Gens. Seems got even cloudier since the start of the game. So look to finish this game off before any rain comes in.
Right now, the Gens wouldn't be opposed to stopping it now. It's now official as we're through 4.5 innings. The Gens winning 3-1.
Right in the bat now with runners on first and second. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Rooney gets in front of Rooney as Wires thought the runners were going to advance, but gets back safely. Luckily, it's very far off the bag as he was on his way to second. Reader not going, obviously. Very lucky there is Drew Wires.
Yeah, Rooney, waited the second to throw it to first. But I actually like that idea from Rooney. We see a lot of catchers rush it, try to throw down to the first base, second bag, third base, whatever bag it is, and throw the ball away. But there, Rooney, made a strong throw to first. It wasn't in time, but instead of Wires, just being safe at first, which he is, that could have been a lot worse and allowed him to advance to second on the errant throw.
Looking at the other playing game in the Wolf division, Ospreys and Metros are in the top of the fifth. Metros lead 7-1 over the Ocean Ospreys. Likely see them here to face the Kings tomorrow in 2 games. One 0 pitch from West. Off to play again. Count is now 2-0. Reader at second. Wires at first. 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. West looking back to second, and now the pitch. Bunt by Wright.
What a
Reader's going to
great
advance
bunt.
there. A great bunt as West is unable to field it. And a bunt for a single, loading the bases there to Matty Wright.
And that's what Coach Coryell was talking about. Laying down a bunt for your team. In that case, not just advancing the runners, but getting a base hit for himself. A perfectly placed bunt. The Gens using some small ball to load the bases, and the hot hitter Aiden McNelly looking for his first hit of the night.
Yeah, caught everyone off guard with that bunt, really, as Bant was not going to come in to get that, and West was really the only person able to make the play if it wasn't possible at all, and had trouble feeling it there as A.M. McNelly into bat now. Leads the team in RBIs in the regular season. Ball there. Counts now 1-0. Reader at third, Wires at second, and Wright at first. Opt behind the press box. Count is now 1-1 with 1 out here. See All-Star. And McNelly steps back into the box for the 1-1 count. The pitch from West. Off the plate. Count is now at 2-1. West trying to even the count here with a strike. 2-1. Hit down the right field line. That's going to be foul out of play. We're going to count to 2-2. Strikeout here from West would be huge. We're going to 1 out closer getting out this inning. I'm trying to leave the bases loaded here. To 2-2. Off-speed pitch that misses the top of the zone. Count is now full to McNelly. Big pitch here coming from Owen West. Looking to prevent any more damage in this outing right now. Payoff pitch. Popped in the center field. Getting under it is Pietrowski. Reader's tagging up as he'll come across the score for a run, bringing the score to 4-1. Gens up. No other runners advance as they'll stay on first and second.
A bunt single, and now the sac fly extends the lead to 4-1. Gen's lead getting even comfier.
And about now, Nick Ferry doubled last inning, coming to 1-2 on the day. Wires at second, right at first with 2 outs here. Pitch from West. Up and out of zone. Count is now at 1-0. Ferry, one of the hottest hitters in this short stretch from the Generals. Can they continue this streak? The 1-0. Big swing and miss there from Ferry, bringing the count to 1-1. Just a rising freshman going to Seton Hall steps back into the box for the count, which is even at 1. West gets a sign. Runner off his wires. No throw down. Right does not advance. Runners on the corners now for Ferry. You know, 1-2 count. The 1-2 from West. Low into the dirt. Bring it count to 2-2. With 2 outs here.
West, a big pitch for him, trying to get out of this without any more damage being done.
It's 2-2 from West. Off the plate, bringing the count to full. Matty Wright will be off at first with the full count, 2 outs.
Well, we know how this at-bat will end. Probably a strikeout or a walk with West on the mound. I'm going to take my chances and say it's one of those 2 options.
Very good odds there for one of those outcomes. Sure, Ferry would like a nice hit in the gap, though, here on the full count. Full pitch in the dirt and a walk loading the bases.
It's now 5 walks for West.
Now Jason Wolf steps into the box as it's going to be mound visit. After West walked, the bases loaded. Looks like the runners will meet with Coach Coryell. Looks like West's day is done. After 4 2/3 innings pitch, we'll be right back here and give you the information on the next pitcher for the Matrix.
action.
Welcome back here on NJ College Baseball Nation as we're here in the bottom of the fifth. The bases loaded for the Gens as new pitcher in from the Matrix, Shane Salveson, comes in from DH spot. I believe technically Wes. No, Wes will be out of the game completely, and the Matrix give up that DH spot. Looking at Salveson's stats on the year, 15 innings pitched and a 3.60 ERA, pretty good season for him. 16 strikeouts as well. So look to get out of this mess that West made in the bottom of the fifth. The bat will be Jason Wolf.
Correct.
Yeah, whoever designed his uniform should be fired.
Jason Wolf with a strikeout and a single on the day, going 1 for 2.
Yeah, the uniforms, like I said, are extremely hard to read. All season long, it's, a PA announcer and broadcaster's, how do I say it? Worst nightmare, with the
Yeah.
numbers, the white on the white.
They couldn't make the numbers blue. It'd be a lot easier to read if they did.
If only they could make them gray or just
Something.
some other color.
Low and out of the zone. Counts now 1-0 to Wolf. Salveson gonna be a sophomore at Middlesex County College, coming out of Old Bridge, New Jersey. Hit hard into the right center gap. That's going to be at least one run. Coming around to score is Matty Wright, unable to make the play. Is Vizchenko. Another run in Ferry coming to score. A 3-run double from Jason Wolf, making the lead 7-1. Generals up on the Matrix. Right, 2-out hit there from Jason Wolf, bringing this lead to 6 for the Gens.
Yeah, it was huge for the Gens. We do have the mercy rule in play after 7 innings if you're up by 10 runs. It is the mercy rule. The Gens starting to creep towards that. And the score now 7-1.
Jared Hernandez in the bat now. Hits one to first baseman Bakunis. Knocks it down, but unable to make the grab, putting runners at the corners.
Number 2, shortstop, Jake DeClerico.
This looks like on that the hit by Wolf will be ruled a single, 2 RBIs, and the E9. Allowing him to get the second and bringing in the final run. It's 9-holder Jake DeClerico in the bat now. To walk and pop out there. That's going to get past Edwards for an RBI single from Jake DeClerico. Trenton Generals continue to add on to his lead, now 8-1 up on the Matrix.
Oh, the bats are coming alive. Clearly, Shane Salveson has had a rough outing so far.
Yeah, not a great situation to be put in as a relief pitcher, so can't really blame him, but still, got to try to get out of the inning with 1 out. But when the Gens are hot, their bats remain hot as well. Now, all 9 hitters have come to plate. Scotty Young coming into her second at bat of this inning. Morano on first and second with Hernandez at second. DeClerico at first with 2 outs here. Count now 1-0 to Scotty Young. 1-0 pitch. Cut there, missed from Young. Counts now 1-1. Young trying to get a hit here. Hitless on the day. Not something you see from Scotty very often this far into a game. So I've seen the pitch. Fouled off by Young, bringing the count to 1-2. And the 1-2. Off the plate, count is now 2-2 to Young. Count even at 2 with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Inside and low, count is now full to Scotty Young.
Yeah, big chance here for the Gens to break this one open even further. I think the game is all but sealed with the Salveson being one of the only pitchers available for the Matrix. We had Tyler Tilton and Owen West as the 2 available pitchers, but now Salveson, the DH, isn't on the mound. Chances are fading for the Matrix.
The payoff pitch from Salveson, runners off. Fouled off by Young. Count remains at 3-2. Young steps into the box for another full count. The 3-2, runners off. Fouled off again. Hernandez and DeClerc will move back to their respective bases. As mentioned, Young looking for his first hit of the ball game. Would like to get an RBI to go with that. Salveson gets set. And another payoff pitch. Popped, playable, making his Correa. He's unable to make the grab in foul territory. Rough day in left field from Correa.
That was a really tough play. And he ran all the way to the wall, right into the wall. Gave it a great effort. Now the first fielding whiskey today, I did not think he gave it 100%, but the last 2, he's ran all out, just couldn't make the play.
Yeah, has been putting in the effort, definitely, just not able to make many grabs out there, and the ball has hit to him. His count remains full to Young. (3-2). Hit to Edwards, unable to make the grab, picks it back up, and Sky Young is in there safe on an error E6. Still no hits on the day for Sky Young. And the bases are loaded again for the Generals as Chris Reeder steps to the box now. 0 for 2 on the day with a walk that came earlier this inning.
Number 17, catcher Chris Reeder.
This is a big spot for Reeder. Still looking to extend that hit streak to 10. Now's the time to do it.
Hernandez at third. DeClerc at second, and Young at first. Ball in the dirt. Count is now 1-0. Actually, Reeder steps in for the 1-0 count. Salveson gets set. Popped up in the center field, getting under it. It's Pietrowski for the 3rd out. But not before the Generals put up 5 runs in this bottom of the 5th. Can the New Brunswick Matrix respond in the top of the 6th? They'll try on NJ College Baseball Nation. Welcome back here. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation as the Trenton Generals are up 8-1 on the New Brunswick Matrix heading into the 6th inning. Just a long toss away from Moody Park at 200 Unionville Road, King's Pizzarama is proud to sponsor the Player of the Game award for each Gens game this season. Great slices, sandwiches, and pies, they'll even deliver to the field at Moody Park. So Ryan Dromboski remains in the game. Now has a 7-run cushion that he's working with on the mound. As Luke Bakunis in the bat now for the Matrix. Has a walk and a strikeout on the day. Now up 1-0 on the count is Bakunis. Ball is inside there. Bringing the count to 2-0. 2-0 pitch. Hit softly to DeClerco, running into the ball. Makes a throw over to McNelly. Nice play there from DeClerco at short. Hard to make those running throws, especially when the ball is hit that softly and you have to come in on it. Logan Rooney in the bat now. So with a pop out and a ground out today. Wires makes the short hop and makes the play over to first. Nice play there, fielding that ball by Wires, and 2 quick outs on the mound from Dromboski.
And as a pitcher, you have to love that. Your fielder's making the plays behind you. 2 quick outs. Drombo is rolling along after a tough first 2 innings.
And 2 very difficult plays to make in the infield, and Wires and Clerico made it look pretty easy. This Jake Vesco in the bat now. The strikeout and a walk on the day, and a run. Fouled off there. Vesco the only run on the day for the Matrix in this 8-1 ball game. The 0-1 pitch from Dromboski. Swing and miss there. As Vesco was fooled on an off-speed pitch way ahead. Count is now 0-2. All in the dirt this time. Count is now 1-2. Dromboski looking for the 6th strikeout. As he misses there, count is now 2-2. 2 outs.
It's a big pitch for Dromboski, trying to get out of this inning without allowing a base runner. Maybe potentially see him out for the 7th, but you've got to think this is probably his last inning with the trouble he had in this first 2.
Full count now after that ball miss. We were unable to make the grab there. Wonder if a good frame job there could have got the strikeout, but here the payoff pitch. Up and out of zone, that's going to be a walk as Vesco prevents the 1-2-3 inning. As in the bat now, Sean Pietrowski for the Matrix.
Uncharacteristic 4 walks from Dromboski, but this offense has given him plenty of cushion.
Reader picks that ball off, and from the dirt, counts now 1-0, keeping Vesco at first base. Dromboski working from the stretch now, obviously, with a runner on first. And a 1-0 pitch. Misses the zone again. Cal's now at 2-0. Two 2-0 pitch. Hit softly. The Wires makes the barehanded grab. Unable to make the throw. So that's the scoreboard ruled as infield single.
Yeah, that was a nice play. I don't think it was Wires necessarily unable to make the throw, but more, being smart and not throwing that ball away, because that is a tough play for a third baseman to make. I like the pump fake, potentially getting the runners off first or second base. Ultimately, they both stayed on their respective bases.
Coach Coryell coming out to the mound now. Talk it over with Ryan Dromboski. Looks like he'll stay in the game, just trying to give him a little confidence boost to get out of this 6th inning. And he is indeed staying in the game. Runners on first and second now with Veshko at second. Pietrowski at first. As Joe Correa steps into the box now. The strikeout and a ground out on a Feuder's. I'm sorry, reached on a Feuder's choice today. Fouled. Right of the first base bag. Count is now 0-1 to Correa.
Correa's come up in some big spots today. I guess 2 big spots today. First one with the fielder's choice, but definitely would have helped the Matrix tonight if they had 2 bats as they're 8 up in the 8 and 9 order for them.
The 0-1 pitch. Catches the outside edge of the plate. Counts now 0-2. Dromboski looking for his 6th strikeout on the day. Misses inside. Counts now 1-2 to Correa. Hit hard over the head of Mag right, but he makes a jumping grab. Nice play there to end the inning, preventing a run from scoring. And keeping the score at 8-1. Great play there from Mag right to end the inning. We'll be right back here as the Gents come back to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation as we're here in the bottom of the 6th of the 4-5 playing game in the ACBL playoffs as the Trenton Generals lead 8-1 over the New Brunswick Matrix. The Rural Financial Group is a major sponsor of Trenton Generals Baseball. Located in Princeton, the Rural Financial Group is an office of the Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. Call 609-951-8700 and set up a meeting with a representative today. And that last bottom of the 5th, Chens were able to put up 5 runs with RBIs from Wolf, DeClerco, and McNally. 2 RBIs actually from Wolf on a single. In the bat now, Drew Wires. In the game, remaining in the game to pitch is Shane Salvacine for the Matrix. So Chens look to inch towards possible mercy rule win here. Just from Shalvison. Hits softly to Bant. He has trouble feeling it, and Wires is going to get the first. Give that hit, it looks like, on the infield single. Would be a very difficult play there by Bant. First runner on now in this inning for the Gens as Matty Wright steps to the plate, made that leaping grab to finish off the top of the sixth and prevent a run from scoring for the Matrix.
Starting to think about that King's Pizzarama player of the game, Jason. Wire's certainly in consideration. He's reached base all 4 times tonight.
So first pitch is ball, counts now 1-0. Yeah, definitely a candidate for that. With that 4 for 4 reaching the bases, as you mentioned. 2-0 count now after that ball misses off the plate. Jason Wolf also a possible candidate with 2 singles and 2 RBIs. Probably the first 2 guys that stick out on the scorebook. In the dirt, 3 straight balls now, bringing the count to 3-0 to Matty Wright. Pitch from Salvesen. Catches the edge of the plate this time, bringing the count to 3-1. Wires as first. Three-one pitch. And a walk there on 5 pitches to Wright, putting runners on first and second. So Aiden McNally steps to the plate now. Already has an RBI on the day on a sac fly last inning.
Well, Salvesen's night has gone from bad to worse. He just can't seem to find an out.
Actually, Gabe Queso into pitch hit for McNally. Ball is inside, bringing the count to 1-0. Queso, 194 average on the season, 31 at bats, but second on the team in walks with 15. So might not be a hitting, but he finds a way to get on base. 1-0. Off the plate, counts now 2-0. Wires at second, Wright at first. Some confusion around the matrix between Rooney and Salvesen. Talk over the signs, looks like. Rooney returns to the plate for the 2-0 count. Queso sporting the lime green and neon pink bat. Weird. Definitely an interesting combination of colors there.
Hey, whatever works.
2-0. Catches the outside edge, bringing the count to 2-1 now. Queso with 4 RBIs on the season, in the regular season of the ACBL. 2-1 from Salvesen. Misses low, bringing the count to 3-1. Great chance here for Queso to bring in a run in this hitter's count. 3-1. That's going to be a walk for Queso, who is second on team, as I mentioned, this regular season. Loading the bases for Nick Ferry.
Well, if Nick Ferry wants to get in the conversation for player of the game, he could have a big knock here. He might just get it. I think Dromboski has to be part of that player of the game interview if he sticks around after his great outing after the first 2 innings, which were a struggle for him.
That ball catches a playing count is now 0-1. Ferry looking to continue an RBI streak, which is at 3 right now. Down 0-1 though in his 4th at bat of the game. Going 1 for 2 on the day so far. That ball misses the top of zone. Count is now 1-1. Wires at third, Wright at second, and Queso at first. 1-1. Catch the outside edge again, and now Ferry's down 1-2 in the count. One-two pitch from Salvacine. Swing and a miss there from Ferry for the first out on a strikeout there. The bat now, Jason Wolf, who had 2 RBIs in that last inning on the single. Looking to add to that RBI total on the day right here. Golden opportunity with bases loaded. Outside edge, Salvacine finding the zone. These last 2 at bats counts now 0-1 to Wolf. The 0-1. Swing and miss there. Wolf fooled on that pitch, bringing the count to 0-2. Salvacine looking for back-to-back strikeouts. The 0-2 pitch. Inside. Wolf takes it for the ball, bringing the count to 1-2. One-two pitch. Chopped foul by Wolf. Count remains at 1-2. Salvacine looking to limit the damage and prevent a run from scoring in this inning after 5 scored in that last for them on West line. And the 1-2. Swing and miss there for another strikeout for Salvacine. 2 in a row now. Jared Hernandez steps into the batter's box now. Actually, Ryan Leary coming in, I believe. It is Ryan Leary indeed coming to pitch hit for Jared Hernandez. Checks the swing there. Does not go, bringing the count to 1-0.
I don't know where Salvacine got this from. Back-to-back strikeouts against Ferry and Wolf. Both who had good days on the night so far.
Down the middle, counts now 1-1.
But 2 good outs for Salvacine. See if he can keep it going.
Ryan Leary in 196 on the season, 56 at bats. Going to his freshman year at Wagner College. And the 1-1. Off the plate, bringing it to 2-1. Ryan Leary playing his high school ball at Ewan with a .346 average in his senior season. 2-1. Up and inside, bringing the count to 3-1. Good chance here for Leary to hit a pitch, come in and pitch hit for at least 1 RBI. 3-1 from Salvacine. And a walk that will bring home a run, making the score 9-1. Gens up on the Matrix. Drew Wise comes home to score on that. Jake the Clerical, 9-hole hitter in the bat now for the Gens. So you get 2 runs here and shut out the Matrix in top of 7th. This game will be over. Check swing there. And he does go. Does the Clerical counts now 0-1. Clerical on the day with an RBI single, a walk, stolen base, 1 for 2. 0-1 from Salvacine. Hit out of play towards the basketball courts now 0-2 is the count to the Clerical. Salvacine looking for his 3rd strikeout of the inning here. 0-2. Popped high in the left field. Correa gets under it. And he makes the play for the third out, but not before Salvasi walks home a run, making the score 9-1. Gens up. We'll be right back here and for the top of the 7th inning on NJ College Baseball Nation. Welcome back here. We're at the top of the 7th here at Moody Park as the Trenton Generals lead 9-1 over New Brunswick Matrix. ACBL Baseball is brought to you by brought to you by Wildflowers Inn with its great upscale menu. Wildflowers Inn on the Pennington Circle at 2572 Pennington Road. Also has a 20% discount if the player's in uniform. Upscale dine and a great atmosphere. Pre-game, post-game, anytime. Check out Wildflowers Inn. Few changes defensively for the Generals. Alex Hunt in the pitch for Ryan Dromboski. His final line will be 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, 4 hits, 1 run, that run being earned. Queso came in to pitch hit for McNelly, is now behind the plate. Moving Reeder to first. Leary came in for Jared Hernandez. He's now at second base, replacing Hernandez.
Staying in the game at 17, number 4, Ryan Leary. Also staying in the game, he's catching now as number 9, Gabe Queso. And moving to first base is Chris Reeder.
Hunt has 1 inning of work in this ACBL season. That came the last game of the season against the Blazers. That game, no one runs, no hits, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Tyler Tilton in the bat now for Shane Salvestein. Looks like he'll come into pitch in the bottom of the 7th. Down 0-1 to count is Tilton after that foul ball. The 0-1 pitch. Hits Tilton. As Hunt's first batter face, he hits, and it's a pitcher. Runner on first now with no outs as the top of the order comes around. Brad Edwards.
Number 11, shortstop.
Hunt following that wild pitch, or excuse me, the hit by pitch, coming off a poor season over at Iona, 0-2 in 14 appearances and over 15 ERA. So he'll look to rebound again, as you said, a second appearance as a pitcher with the Gens this summer. Look to rebound after a poor spring.
Hit high and hard to center field. Scotty Young is going back, chasing after it, and he gets under it stumbling backwards for the first out as Tilton will remain at first. Nice grab there for the first out by Scotty Young.
And I knew he had it the whole way. I mean, when you got long strides like that, your 6'6", 215 frame, and the speed that Scotty Young has makes hard plays look easy. We saw it right there.
Not been to the Matrix's home field, but from what I heard, that could have been close to a home run there. That's a very small ballpark. Morano in the bat now, takes the first pitch for a strike. Morano 0 for 2 on the day with a walk and a strikeout. The 0-1 pitch from Hunt. And the inside counts now 1-1 to Morano. Hunt looks over. Tilton at first. Catches the outside edge of the plate, bringing it to 1-2. Hunt looking for his first strikeout coming into this game. One, two. Fouled out of play. Count remains at 1-2 for Morano. Hunt gets his sign, looks over to first, and gets set. It's the 1-2. Swing and miss there for Morano for the second out, first strikeout of the day for Hunt.
Saw Morano with those 2 strikeouts on Tuesday. Getting his 3rd strikeout of the summer for the Gens.
Shea Bant in the bat now, 0 for 3 on the day. Looking to avoid a strikeout and just trying to get on base here. Strikeout would be Thursday, as I mentioned. Pitch from Hunt. Misses lower edges of plate. Count is now 1-0. It's the 1-0. Up and out of zone. Now 2-0 count to Bant. Hunt gets set for the 2-0. And the pitch. Outside edge of the plate for a strike. Count is now 2-1. The 2-1 from Hunt. Low and wet inside. Count is now 3-1. Hunt looking to avoid a walk here. Try to get this last out of this inning. And set for the hitter's count. Catches the outside edge again. Count is now full to Bant.
Bant has not had a good night. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts looking. Try not to fall victim to a 3rd strikeout.
Runner off is Tilton. Fouled back by Bant out of play. Tilton will return to first. Hunt gets set for the full count. Tilton off again. Swing and miss there. Second strikeout in a row from Hunt and give Bant that golden sombrero. We'll be right back here for the bottom of the 7th here on NJ College Baseball Nation. Welcome back. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation, and this is some ACBL playoff action. The Trent Generals lead 9-1 over the Matrix in the bottom of the seventh. Jen's games are brought to you by your locals Applebee's Bar and Grill locations in Mercer and Bucks County at 3330 U.S. Highway 1 in Lawrenceville, 333 Route 33 in Hamilton, and 2 West Road in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Applebee's is proud to sponsor Jen's baseball. So, some changes all around Diamond. Has Jack Frankovich in the hit now for Scotty Young. Pitching now for the Matrix is Joe Correa coming in from left field, and Tyler Tilton will go out to left field to replace him. Count now 0-1. 0-2 quickly. The 0-2 from Correa. Off speed pitch that misses. Counts now 1-2. Jake Frankovich. 227 on the season. 22 at bats. 1-2. It up and inside near Frankovich's head. Counts now 2-2. Yeah, looking for a ball switch. Frankovic going to Lehigh in the fall. Played his high school baseball at Christian Brothers. The 2-2. Catches the top of the zone for a looking strikeout.
Oh, if only Correa started the game for the Matrix, it might have been a much different game. But instead, Owen West got the start. And Jens tagged him for 7 runs, 6 of them earned. You don't see that very often. The playoff game, your all-star is your third pitcher in, while your starter is the guy with the double-digit ERA.
Looking at Shane Salvestine's line as Chris Reeder steps in the box, takes a pitch for a ball. 1 1/3 innings pitch from Salvestine. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 1-0 count. Catches the zone this time. Counts now 1-1 to Reeder. Reeder trying to keep that on-base streak alive, or hit streak alive, as you mentioned, Aaron.
So had plenty of opportunities.
Hit in the shallow center field. Coming on is Pietrowski to make the second out.
Oh, doesn't look like it's going to happen. I may be a part of that jinx. Before the game, I said, hey, Chris, you got a 9-game hit streak. So I might be part of that jinx.
Yeah, just might have contributed to that streak ending right here. And bat now, Drew Wires. 1 for 2 on a day. Sacrifice fly. I'm sorry. Reach base all times, going 2 for 2. His 4 at bats. 2 singles, hit by pitch, and a walk. Now up 0-1-0. Ball catches lower edge. Counts now 1-1 to Wires. The 1-1 pitch from Correa. Swing and miss there from Wires. Now down 1-2. One two, popped high in the edge infield grass as Morano makes the third out. It's 9-1 ball game heading into the top of the 8th. I'll be heading play-by-play duties off to my partner Aaron Arnstein. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation.
And you welcome you back here to the top half of the 8th inning between the Gens and the Matrix. Trenton with a 9-1 advantage over the Matrix. Luke Bakunis to lead things off for New Brunswick here in the top half of the 8th. Alex Hunt back on the mound, the Iona product, for a second inning of action. The pitch in there for a strike. And the count moves to 0-2. And the 0-2 on the way. Squibbed over to the first base side, but foul, and the count remains 0-2. So a few fielding changes. Kevin Putski now in for Jason Wolf in left field. Matty Wright moves over from right to center, and Jack Frankovic over in right. Putski comes in the game in left, and Scotty Young is out in the game in center. Count now 1-2. Hunt on the mound, and the pitch. Inside part of the plate, strike 3 called, and 1 quick out for the right-hander Hunt.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts in a row from Alex Hunt. Great performance so far in a game that's pretty much already decided, but maybe making a case to pitch later in the postseason in some pivotal games.
Now Logan Rooney, who's 0 for 3 on the night. And the first pitch, outside 1-0. Logan Rooney coming into today 4th on the team in average at .311. Fouls 1 back. The count now 1-1. 10 RBIs in 21 games. Be a sophomore at UMass Amherst. And the pitch outside. Gets to the backstop. The count now 2-1.
Looking at that Metro's Ospreys game, Metro's won 14-4, so they'll be heading here tomorrow to face the Kings in the first 2 games of a best-of-3 series.
And the 2-1. Check swing up the first base side, stays fair, and Reeder takes it to the bag himself. 2 down here in the top half of the 8th.
Number 4, right fielder, Jake Vesco.
Jake Vexco now at the plate. The right fielder is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Count now 1-0. And the pitch outside, 2-0. And the 2-0 from Hunt. That one's fouled back, 2-1. On deck, Sean Pietrowski. And the 2-1. Swung on and fouled back again, 2-2.
Yeah, Hunt looking for a 4th strikeout on the day and be big here. As I mentioned, making a case for future appearances in this postseason.
And the 2-2. Inside, full count. And the pitch outside, and the walk worked by Vexco is third of the night. 2 outs here in the 8th. Sean Pietrowski at the plate.
Pietrowski, one of the only productive hitters for this Matrix lineup today with 2 hits on the day, 2 singles. So, a small bright spot in a very dim game for the Matrix today.
And, you really can't blame the guys who came out and played for the Matrix. They only had 10 or 11 guys available on the team. That one gets away from the catcher. Queso moving up to second is Vexco. Is that a wild pitch? It's a wild pitch from Hunt. Is Vexco up to second? But you really can't blame this team. I mean, they came with a thin roster, and they're struggling both on the mound at the plate. They originally had that 1-0 lead, but quickly relinquished that lead and led to 9 unanswered by the Gens.
Well, likely remain the game as he does with a huge lead as you see, and probably Gens just want to save some arms here for the next 3 games, which will, if they go to the 3rd game, 4 games over 3 days. So definitely want to keep your arms fresh for a 3-game series against, which would be the Quakertown Blazers.
And that's just huge for the Gens. Not only did Dromboski just help himself out with his confidence with a great outing, but also just helps the entire pitching staff out. That one swung on to miss 2-1. And as you mentioned, taking on the Blazers next. It doesn't, barring a epic comeback from the Matrix, taking on the Blazers next, it certainly helps to have a lot of rested arms going into tomorrow and potentially Sunday as well. That one's inside, throw down the second. Not in time. Pietrowski's 2 for 3 with 2 singles. And the 3-1 up high.
Two rocks in a row now from Hunt. If this game was any closer, expect him to get pulled from the game, but as we mentioned, 8-run lead here, a lot of room to work with, and 2 outs, so still a good chance of getting out of this inning unscathed.
Here's Joe Correa, and he's come up on base with runners on first and second in the 6th, runners in first and second in the 8th, and a runner on second, or excuse me, a runner on third, I believe, or a runner on second back in the 2nd. So he's had runners in scoring position 3 of his 4 at-bats. And as a pitcher, having no prior experience at the plate this summer, it's not worked out well for him. At the fielder's choice, a strikeout, and a fly out to right, which was a nice play by the then right fielder, Wright. 0-2. That one's fouled back.
And that was a pretty hard hit ball in that last at bat from Correa. Wright was playing in though, so if he was playing normal depth, it would have been an easy play, but nice leaping grab from Wright in that 6th inning to get that last out there.
Yeah, credit to Correa for, coming up knowing this team needs him both at the plate and on the mound now. He's really worked some nice at-bats, so you see him strike out looking. And that ends the top half of the 8th inning. The Gens up 9-1. We head to the bottom half of the 8th. You're watching NJ College Baseball Nation. And you welcome you back here to the home half of the 8th inning, and Matty Wright a chance to reach base in all 5 of his plate appearances today. Joe Correa back on the mound for a 2nd inning of action after working a 1-2-3 in the home half of the 7th. If you're just joining us, the Gens leading 9-1 here in the home playing game. Winner will take on the Quakertown Blazers tomorrow up in Quakertown, Pennsylvania, in a best-of-3 second-round matchup. The winner going to the division championship. And the 1-0 swung on and missed from Wright, and the count quickly 1-1.
Wright's reached base twice today, total going 1 for 2 with a sac fly and a single and a walk.
And my apologies. I get Drew Wires and Matty Wright confused almost every single time that I see them at the plate. For one reason or another, not sure why. 26, 27, similar numbers, but my apologies. Drew Wires was the one who reached base in his first 4 plate appearances. Matty Wright has reached base twice. Thank you, Jason.
And doesn't help that Wires just got a haircut. Can't see his long flow out of the back of the helmet anymore. Similar hairstyle now to Wright.
And the pitch laced into center field for a base hit. Wright with his 2nd single of the night.
Looked like Wright took a big turn around first and slipped a little, trying to stop. Lucky he got back there safe.
And now, Gabe Queso, who pinch hit for McNelly back in the 6th, walked in that at-bat, come to the plate with the runner on. And the pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. The Gens went down early, 1-0 in the 2nd, and scored 3 in the 3rd. That one's in there for a strike, thanks to an RBI walk and a pair of three walks and a double. And we're out to a 3-run 3rd inning, and scored 5 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th to bring us to our 9-1 score. That one's outside 1 and 2. Look at some of the players of the game. Wires reached base 4 times, 2 singles, an RBI walk. Matty Wright with 2 singles. Jason Wolf with a 2-run single and then another single as well. A lot of singles. That one's bounced over to the second baseman Morano. Fields throws in time for the out. And Wright moves over the second for the 4-3 fielder's choice. And then Ryan Leary went 2 for 3 with the infield single and a double. Also scored a run. And finally, Jake DeClerico with a walk and an RBI single. Scored once as well. Scotty Young, quiet night for the most part. He did reach base twice, a walk and an E6, but did not reach on a hit. Don't see that much from the star Scotty Young. Now Nick Ferry at the plate. He's 1 for 3 with the double and a walk.
Yeah, looking at the scorebook, really all around effort. No real guy that sticks out that lit up the scoreboard with like 3 RBIs and a 4-for-4 game. But like all around effort, all around from pitching, Dromboski, and a lot of hitters contributed with RBIs.
What was its short name?
And the pitch. Check swing. Strike, and the count now 1 and 2. So Owen West went 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. Then Shane Salveson came in for him with 1 in the 3rd innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Now Joe Correa in for his 2nd inning of action. The count now 2 and 2. Tyler Tilton is in left after Correa started there. Tilton, who was originally slated to be used out of the bullpen, that one's fouled back. Playing in the field, but not on the mound. Jason Wolf is not on deck. Kevin Putski will replace him, who was in the game in left field. Pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 down here in the 8th.
His own 3 strikeout day with that strikeout right there. After a pretty small streak there in 3 games. Not a great day from him. Did have a double, though, and a walk. Overall, going 1 for 4.
Pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Pietrowski hitting 193 on the season, coming off an 0-for-3 day at the Metros last Saturday. Plays his college ball at NJIT. 333 average, 3 homers, 15 RBIs in 30 games, including 21 starts. The count now 1-1. And the 1-1 to Pietrowski. Squib to foul. And it's 1-2. Pietrowski from Rockaway, New Jersey. Will be a senior over at NJIT. The lights are in full effect here at Fred Walters Field at Moody Park. And the 1-2. That one skied into center. Coming in as Pietrowski makes the catch, and that ends the bottom half of the 8th inning. 3 more outs for the Gents to get before they advance to the second round of the ACBL playoffs to take on the Quakertown Blazers. We'll be right back to finish this one off. You're watching ACBL action on NJ College Baseball Nation. And we welcome you back here to the top half of the 9th inning. Tilton, Edwards Jr., and Morano for the Matrix. And the last 3 outs on the line for the season for New Brunswick, down 9-1 after giving up 9 unanswered. Took the lead in the second, but it did not last for long. A 3 spot and a 5 spot by the Gens in the mid-innings propelled them to a 9-1 advantage. 9 runs on 10 hits for the Gens, 1 run on 4 hits for the Matrix. Alex Hunt back on the mound, the Iona product, for his 3rd inning of action. Tyler Tilton, who replaced Shane Salveson. Both are pitchers. Salveson, not normally a pitcher, but came in for the starter Owen West. And Tilton, who's usually a pitcher, is playing in left field tonight instead of on the mound. And the 0-1, that one's popped up. Coming in as the second baseman, Leary makes the catch for out number 1. And now Brad Edwards Jr. comes to the plate. And the pitch grounded over to the first baseman Reeder, and right under his glove and into right field. And a base hit for Edwards Jr. That should raise his 177 average.
Yeah, bad luck there from Reeder. Pretty ugly hop and Slip just trying to get it after a bad hop. So very unlucky play there for them here.
Morano, who is 0 for 3 with a walk back in the first, stands in at the plate. Shea Bant on deck. Trying to change around his 3 strikeout night. Now Edwards breaks for second, slides in safely, and the runner in scoring position for New Brunswick with 1 out in the 9th. And the 0-1 pitch. Check swing. And he did go around, so the count now 0-2. Ryan Dromboski went the first 6, allowed 1 run on 4 hits, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Alex Hunt in for his 3rd inning. The 1-1 swung on and missed. Excuse me, the 1-2. 1-1 swung on and missed. And the 1-2 swung on and missed. So Alex Hunt records his 5th strikeout of the night. He has really pitched well in these 2 games, Jason, for the Gens.
Yeah, that shutout last game in 1 inning. Going with that 1-hit performance by all the pitchers on Tuesday, and then 2 strikeouts there as well. And now, as you mentioned, 5 today, racking up a strikeout total in a short amount of work, and could come in to a game situation later in the playoffs.
And I think if you're Jay Bant right now, you just don't want to strike out. He struck out 3 times already. It's been a tough night for him, a tough end to the season.
Especially in that 3-hole spot, you would hope to get more production in a winner go home game, but just not that from Bant today.
Bant drives one into right. Frankovic moving back, makes the catch. And the Gens survive and advance. They defeat the New Brunswick Matrix 9-1 in the first round play-in game. And they will take on the Big Bad Blazers tomorrow up in Quakertown. A best-of-3 series. The first 2 will be tomorrow. And if necessary, Game 3 will be back here on Sunday.
Yeah, you like to see chaos in the playoffs sometimes, but it's sometimes even better to see the top dogs go against each other. Both the higher seeds and move and advance in this game and the game between the Metros and the Ocean Ospreys. So I'd like to see some good matchups in the semifinal round in those 3-game series between the Metros and the Kings here tomorrow, the 2 games, and as you mentioned, the Blazers and the Gents up in Quakertown tomorrow, and hopefully coming back here for a Game 3 on Sunday.
So that will do it for Aaron Arnstein alongside Jason O'Connell. The Gens survive and advance a 9-1 win over the Matrix. Ryan Dromboski with the win, and with the loss, Owen West. And Alex Hunt finishes it off with 3 strong innings of 1-hit ball, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. for the Kings doubleheader matchup against the Bergen Metros in the 2-3 matchup of the second round ACBL playoff matchup. We'll be back here tomorrow at 12 p.m. But for now, stay safe.